Hey YouTube, what's up? I'm Alan and this is Space Engineers. Yeah, okay, so normally I do game capture because I have a weird 16 by 10 monitor, so I force it to 1920 by 1080 so that the video comes out nicely on YouTube and doesn't get all like squashed. But today I set up a display capture so that we can look at the map finally. Um, because we're finally at the place I want to be, which is on this beach. I know it doesn't look like much of a beach, but there's water, well, ice here. Um, and then actually, if you look right there on the center of the screen, there's magnesium, just 3.3 kilometers away. And yeah, we were here at the end of the last video. Let's go look at the browser and see. So in the last video, what we actually found was this corner, right, of this lake, which is, if we zoom out, northern hemisphere, sort of on this thumb or big toe. And then, I thought that's where we were, so I went over here and we found magnesium, which was awesome. And I thought what I wanted to do is get over to this ice lake because there's cobalt and magnesium and another ice lake and another ice lake and another ice lake and gold and just all kinds of stuff all around. So what I thought I would do is go out to this edge and just follow it around. And I thought I had done that. And then when I was looking around at those wrecks, I think I actually ended up in here somehow. And I think the crash was somewhere in here, maybe in here. Because I thought I was following this on the right and going around this way. I was following this on the right and not paying attention to the compass. And eventually I finally looked at the compass and I was going east. I thought, how the hell am I going east? I should be going around here. I should be going west. And I realized I must still be inside this ring of orange. So that was frustrating. But eventually I stumbled across, after like going around all of this, this is where I found out I was going east, somewhere in here. And I, stumbled across this, and I spent some time looking at the map to figure out, okay, yeah, I'm probably here. I was very doubtful, so I thought, well, let's just drive in, and if this stays relatively flat for a while, go south. And then if we get through some rough stuff, and then we get flat again, maybe we are where I think we are. And then if we go southwest from there, maybe we'll find an ice lake. Sure enough, we did. So I found an ice lake, found this, and I decided I'll set up here-ish. So we're kind of close to the magnesium. We actually have a ton of cobalt, so it's not really that big a deal. But yeah, we're over here somewhere. And I've started setting up a drill rig because I want to drill into this hill, mountain, whatever you want to call it, and make a parking space and then build a base under here. I'm pointing away, like farther in than I'll probably ever get. So that's, come on, there we go. That's what we have here. I started building a tunneling rig. And I thought before I got too far, I probably should bring you back and show you what's going on. So for power, I plugged the rig into it. But actually I started over here. I looked up the mountain and looked for kind of a peak because I thought it'd be kind of cool to put some solar panels up there. And I took a single block and just held it out in front of me. No, one of these. And just sort of found a spot that looked good, lined up with that peak. And it happened to line up nicely with the magnesium. I don't think I'll actually tunnel there. That's excessive. But so I placed that, and that actually is what, that's this block here in the middle. And so I want to tunnel along this line that I'm walking on. And my favorite tunneling rig is uses upside down rotors. And the way I do that, there's a few ways. If you're doing it like on a planet with zero gravity, you can just like build it tall and then push it down with a ship. But if you're on a planet, you can do something like this, where you have a piston and you raise it up so that you have clearance. And then over here you 8. Sorry, all my choices aren't currently selected. You place a rotor up here, an advanced rotor actually, because eventually I'll probably start replacing these with conveyors. Because then we can get something processing this. Actually, I have another way to, and I'll show you that in a minute. Another way to process stuff. One thing I find helpful is orient the rotors. Other way. So that they're facing the same direction, so it's easy to keep track of. You could probably do this with hinges. I haven't tried it because I find the rotors are really handy because you can take this whole rig and detach one end of the rotor and rotate it around this point or around this point, which means like once you're into a tunnel, you can make like a 30-degree turn, a 90-degree turn, whatever, and tunnel in a different direction. But it is helpful to keep the rotors in the same orientation so that when you're messing with it later, one's not going that way. And even it doesn't matter so much that 90 is on the back. Just be consistent with them. Because I honestly can never keep track of that 90 actually means like this is 90 or I don't know. I don't know how it works. So I don't worry about it. So by lifting this up, we have enough room that we can place this. 90's on the back, 270 will be on the front. And then we can just drop that off of there. And then we'll just lower this guy back down. To about 2.5. Hang on. I thought it was 2.5, but this looks wrong. So what we'll do is we'll just see if we can add the head back here. Yeah, so we'll just lower it till it's like roughly level. So we'll go up just a bit. I mean, the blocks are 2.5 meters, and then the rotor stands off a little bit. So yeah, 2.6 is right. It just looked wrong. Yeah, we can get rid of this guy again. Because what we'll do is when we want to attach this, first we'll charge. When we want to attach it, we can just place the rotor head on the ground. And when we have conveyors down there, if we use an advanced rotor head, it'll connect our whole drill rig to the rest of our conveyor network. And then the only part of the drill that has to move is one piston and the drill and, some blocks. Instead of, making a kilometer-long pipe, kilometer-long conveyor, this is the only thing that's moving. Is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plus whatever your drill head length is, worth of blocks. Although, well, we'll get into that. To decide on the width, actually, I just laid out some blocks over here and counted that, we have 1, if we count from the center, we have block 1, 3, if we count, going in both directions, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. And we probably want some extra room. So from here we have 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. Oh, wait a second. I thought we were going for 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. I had an extra conveyor tube in here and took it out because I thought, oh no, I've gone too far. I don't think I did. 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. Yeah, I shouldn't have taken that out. Good thing I checked.
Inventory full.
That's fine.
Inventory full. Inventory full.
So we'll just put one back on here. Oh. Kind of need some stuff. Oh, but my inventory's full. If only somebody had told me that. Yeah, we can get rid of this. Oh, and these. I didn't even realize I still had those on me. And that. We just need the one plate to get this thing started. Come on, I need to add a ramp here. So on the drill head, there's a lot of things I like to do here. But I actually I don't want like an arc on this particular one. I just want a straight tunnel. So if we stack a couple of drills and then just swing back and forth, we'll get a straight tunnel with a curve at the back of it, which should be fine. But a lot of times I'll do things like, I'll actually start with a rotor and then put a hinge on the rotor. Or sorry, vice versa. No. Rotor, then hinge, convert to small grid, and then make a drill that sort of spirals in and then back out. Or we'll do like a half, so it'll go this way and spiral sort of out but halfway, so we get like a, I don't know, what looks like a sort of like arched road tunnel. But like I said on this one, I just want a straight tunnel the same height all the way along. And I want it to be approximately, well, 11 and a bit blocks long, because if we look at if we turn on the additional information from build info, we can see that actually if we place the drill on this position, it reaches a little bit past that 11. I'm sure you can find the numbers, but it doesn't really matter to me. I just eyeball it. So that should be that. And let me make sure. Did I weld all those all the way up? I did not, because I don't have all the stuff for this. Like I said, at the moment this is not connected to, well, I didn't say, but it's not connected to my conveyor network, which is fine. I just want it for power. I could have slapped a battery on here, but most of this is temporary for now. So I didn't want to stick a battery on here that I was just going to waste, even though resources really aren't a problem. So if we don't do something and we start drilling and we don't right-click drill, which I'm not planning on doing in this case, although sometimes I've done that too. You just have to keep in mind that it'll make a much bigger hole. The drill will quickly fill up, and having that weight there will be a problem. We could, you know, put a ejector on the back here and throw the stone out. But I don't know. I feel like we should use it. And so what I talked about was one thing we could do is we could put conveyors down here, and then we could just keep extending the conveyors as we go. And this is spaced such that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, which is exactly how far the piston will extend. So then we have attachment point, 1, 2, 3, 4, attachment point. So this is the maximum length a single piston will get you. Unless I've done the math wrong. I don't know. I've done it a bunch of ways. Sometimes I've done the math wrong and it was 1, 2, 3 connection, 1, 2, 3 connection. We'll see if I got it right. But actually, let's go ahead and grab the parts for this. This is not a great spot. One thing I like to do with these is very clearly name the parts of the drill. So we'll call this drill rear. And we'll call this drill front or forward, I don't know. And then I like to call whatever's here the hinge or the piston then hinge, or sorry, rotor then hinge, drill head. Eventually we'll add more drills and we'll group them. But so what we can do now is we can use an advanced rotor head. We don't even have to weld it up. The beauty of this actually is even if you do weld it up, the rotor heads don't have a collision on them. So these rotors, as we sort of inch them along, won't collide with this. And in fact, they won't collide with anything on this rig, hint, hint. Because one of the other things we can do, first of all, we need an extra block here. We need one more of these there. We could put stuff on here. Like we could put a basic refinery on the back and then an assembler on that. And then all of our stuff will move into the tunnel with our drill. Instead of, you know, having to build it all out here and disassemble it later. I mean, we'll have to disassemble it once we get inside. Maybe. I mean, if you want to leave it there, you could. Especially now that Build Planner pulls from subgrids. I just want a couple of plates. Oops. What? Oh, plate single. Because I want to add a little bit of working room out here. In fact, we'll go a little further. And do I dare? Yeah. Because the rover's not going anywhere for a while. Oh, I'm out. And I wanted to add one more here, I think. Okay, 2 more there. And actually, while I'm thinking of it, and I have interior plate. Let's give ourselves a way up. So yeah, we can We could hang a basic refinery off of here, but why? Which way do I want those on there? I don't think it matters much. This one's going to be fairly tall, so I actually could mount it like this. In fact, yeah, actually, let's do that. But if I'm making a small tunnel, let's say I'm digging a tunnel for a small grid rover, and I, only need maybe 3 to 5 blocks wide, and 2 to 3 blocks high, oftentimes I'll put the refinery facing downward. And then, since we're going to be generating a lot of stone, we want speed modules. Ideally all speed, but I don't have the power for that right now, so I'm going to do a mix. I'm sure we could, game out what the exact best combination is, but I'm going to do 2 and 2. And so what I'll do is get all this, actually, let's dump what I have in my inventory. Weld it up, which is going to take a minute. One advantage if you do... Nah, I'll just run back and forth. If you do put an assembler on here and you have resources, you could put up a welder to weld these up. But for just one, I don't mind a little bit of running back and forth. But you probably do, so I will finish this up and bring you back when it's time to connect this rig. So I'll see you in a bit. Right. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, lots changed. So I actually had to rebuild a bit of this. I had to drop the hinge off because I wanted to put cargo containers in here. In fact, I actually have room for more, but we'll deal with that later. Let's see, where to begin? Well, I had to rebuild the refinery because I accidentally dropped it off when I replaced these conveyors with cargoes. I also changed my mind. I'm going to go 1 speed, 3 power for now. I added another rotor facing this way with a small head because I want a bunch of timer blocks and event controllers. And I've said it before, I think 2.5 meters cubed is way too big for single function. Just takes up too much space. So yeah, I just, adapt a small grid and place a bunch of them there. I placed 9 of each. I don't know how many I'm going to need, but I don't know. Seems like a good start. I placed a big red button, and I set up 1 timer block so far. That's E-stop, which just turns off the drill. Well, actually a group of drills, even though there's only 1. The hinge, the piston, runs stop on all the timers, and then turns off all the event controllers. It is an emergency stop, so okay. I set up a couple of other buttons up here. So we've got drill on and off, hinge reverse, piston increase maximum distance. Sometimes I put buttons for switch lock for each of these rotors directly on them. I'll just use build vision for now. I'm gonna hedge my bets here. So let's see if this succeeds. Actually, we don't even need the front one attached right now. We'll just do the back. And so we should see attached, which means we can grind this down. I know, not very elegant. All right, fine. Oh, I don't even have a plate. Okay, it's standing on its own. Like I said, this guy doesn't have to be attached, and in fact, as we push forward, it doesn't really matter. Charge up. I'm going to want to add a couple more drills to that eventually. For now, I'm going to leave it. Just for the first pass or so, because I need a bit of room here. I swung that out and it'll hit eventually. I think we have enough clearance to make a full swing. So, let's actually, I'm stalling. Oh, I went through and I named everything because, yeah, with the drill that's on the rig and the one on the base, it was going to get confusing. So this guy, let's set him to, let's try, we'll see, you kind of just have to, you know, try it. You know, yeah, I think a lower drill would have worked. When it gets over to this side, I'll add another one and just swing it back in the same position. Oh, maybe. Well, maybe the first move we're going to have to be is backward. Our first move we're going to have to make is backward.
Inventory full.
Well, at least we have something to grind, to refine now. We have some scrap.
Inventory full. Inventory full.
I mean, it's our stone, we might as well take it. So, a couple more of those. Couple more of those. Actually, probably even a couple more still. Close enough. Oh, I did give myself a ramp. Thought I picked up a third one. Guess not. The reason I put the drills in a group, even though there's only one, was as I add them, I can put I know I grabbed way too many. I can use the group to trigger on. I know it's probably better to actually trigger on drill 1, drill 2, etc. But I'm lazy. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go. Okay. Let's make sure we didn't damage anything else. And actually what we need to do now, so we'll go backwards. We need 1, 2, 3, 4. Where'd you come from? Probably when I was messing around with other stuff. Let's give myself a little bit more room. Oh, really? Oh, there we go. Oh, are those? Those are over here, aren't they? Yep. Because I'm one of those people where building in the air looks funny, we'll go ahead and do that. And we'll give ourselves a way up. And then I want to go to this guy. It actually doesn't matter if we use a advanced rotor head or not right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't need to do that. Now here's where things get tricky. You definitely don't want to disconnect both of these at the same time, because shoot. 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be the drill interfering with. We're gonna have to get creative. But we want to attach the front now. And you see that the piston actually is a little bit longer than the 5 meter spacing, or 5 times 2.5 meters, 7, whatever. 12.5, right? So that'll contract, but there's enough flexibility that the game will let you do it. It can be a little scary, because like when you do release the back one, it does that, which is a little scary looking. And so now we want to do is reverse. Actually, I thought these didn't have a collision, but it's not with everything. So we are going to have to cut those out of the way. I generally run these pretty slow because, you know. Oh, I lowered the minimum distance, not the max. That means my button, did I leave that on there? I don't think I did. It's actually, I think, the rotor head that doesn't have the collision or something. I don't know. I forget. It's you only need a single plate to hold it, although I tend to put in all the plates because, you know, safety first. I did my math wrong. You do have to do 3, 1, I think. And then 2 blocks, not 3 here. So, okay. Let's fix this now. Oh, duh. No, minimum should be 0. Maximum, let's go to 7.5. We need to go to 7.5 or 5. Well, if we go to 5, we'll be okay. Reverse this. So what I'm going to do is take out this cargo box, and use weld pads to put this back together. Oh, duh. I set them max. Should be this one. But I'll wait. So I'll go ahead and attach this one. Just double checking, this guy is attached. Okay, this particular cargo is actually empty. Hey, that was convenient. And now we can just pump this up to, let's say, 7.4. We'll probably get it. That's a bummer. I liked having the E-stop there. Okay, so that's reattached. Those should all still work. We don't have an E-stop button now, but we can put something on there. We're attached at the front. We'll detach this guy and get rid of that. And just let this go all the way out. Which I think will be here. Yep. Attach it again. We can detach this one. And then we will reverse the drill, and as that's going, we will reverse this, and then so this should get us 1, 2, 3, 4 to there, I think. It's kind of cool. It's almost holding in place. Trigonometry. Yeah, I actually didn't think of that. I needed to be further back anyway, because I want my entrance to basically be level with, well, I guess the next row of blocks. I still need to go back a little bit further. No, not lock. I want to turn it off. Yeah, I actually want to come back. You know what? I'll just go another full extension. So we'll lock the front. Detach the back. Yeah, that's a little frightening. So this should go 1, 2, 3, 4. That's like my subconscious knew all along. So if I'd been thinking right, I would have started my build way back here anyway to get the drill out, but I always end up building too close to the face because I'm trying to get, you know, this block, the one that I first placed, like exactly where I want it. What am I running into? Nothing. It's not that one that's moving yet. Yeah, so it's one block up front, 2 here. I always think it's going to be more. Okay. So we're attached on the back. Can detach here. Yeah, actually this is a good reason for also not doing it that way. So the hinge would swing all the way back here. And I don't want it to be digging all the way back here. So what I'm going to do is charge up. I'm going to set limits on the hinge. And I'm just going to arbitrarily pick, I don't know, negative. I'm going to start small and then expand out. So we'll go like negative 15 and positive 15. So that we're just like sweeping right here. Yeah, because we want to clear where the drill is. You can see it. And we don't want to go much further back than that. Looks like we're going to have to get room to put the drill on. But we'll extend out to, well, you know, here. What's that, like 5 meters? This is one of the advantages of using multiple axes. So having a rotor, then a hinge, is you don't have these collisions. Well, that's what we want. Not too worried about the upper drills yet, because we're just sort of intersecting with this bottom edge of where we want the tunnel to be. Oh, the group. Oh, that's right. The group gets deleted if it's empty. So these are drills 2 and 3. I must have named it exactly the same. Although I'm not going to trust that, so let's grab base drills. Toggle block off. Even though we don't actually have an E-stop button at the moment. I'll deal with that later. Okay, so drills on. No, drills off, drills off, drills off. Bummer. Alright, how do I want to do that? Do I want to try to maybe use... Okay. Okay. Okay, yeah, I'll just use ramps or something there. What I want to do then is... Get out a little ways. Oop. I should have used the maximum distance. Okay, there we go. Close enough. I'm going to turn this guy back on. And actually, is 15 going to be too much? No, 15 will be okay. In fact, we can go further. Let's try 20. Go a little further. Oh, don't go backwards. In fact, now this guy's off, isn't he? So if you hold control when you scroll using Build Vision, you can move by hundredths. You can also use Shift and Control Shift. I forget which each does. Yeah, good enough. So we'll set this guy to 25. Yeah, 2's fine. It's extending the maxes 5 meters, and then we should have, yeah, increase maximum, reverse and hinge reverse. So we should hit this guy. I'll set up automation for this stuff eventually. For the first little bit, I tend to use either Build Vision or, bespoke buttons. When you see how it gets to the end and it does a little bit more digging, I usually build in a timer for that. So now we want to extend. We can do 2, which will give us a meter. And we can actually, I mean, we could do the math, but close enough. I extend it usually 3 to 5 degrees, depending on the particular thing I'm trying to drill. We probably could extend more than a meter, but I'm going to be conservative. Didn't I dump some? Interior plates in here? No, that will definitely cause a problem. And then we can extend again. Three. Sure. I guess we're here. We can just reverse. I think actually we can probably increase that. It all depends, again, trigonometry. It all depends on the length of your pendulum? Drill rig arm? I don't know. So we'll let that go a moment. And then I keep thinking the buttons are up there. Another meter. Sure. I keep. I can probably go a little bit further for each one now. Yeah, in fact, I'll probably have to. Let's try 38. Because I'm pedantic like that, I will reverse. And let it come back. The other thing that's nice about building a small grid drill rig is you can tailor sort of the depth that this will dig beneath your that it'll dig beneath your platform a little bit more easily. No, we still need to go further. What I'm trying to do is get it basically to intersect with this line of blocks. So that line of blocks is our threshold, I guess. So this time we can extend. Did it again. I think that puts us. Oh, I have one more extension. And actually, I missed a pass there. Should have done one more back over at the 42. Close enough. Coming up on an hour, so I'll probably wrap it up here or shortly. Because it's just going to be a bunch of this. I'll add, like I said, I'll add the automation. And I can come out to 50-ish. Actually, yeah, we can keep going. 48. once we get to the full width, then a lot of this goes away. We just need to switch it back and forth. But if you push only a meter at a time, you get really nice, smooth-ish. I mean, as smooth as voxels will let you surface. Yeah, okay, we're still in that one. We'll go full extension. Oh, get back here. Yeah, sure. We can touch up some of this with the hand drill. I just like the way you get a nice, even surface both on the walls eventually. We're nowhere near it. And then on the surface of the floor or the ceiling. Well, both. Refinery is definitely keeping up at this point. And so, in our automation, we'll have it attach, detach, and jump about a little. That's because of all the weight of the refinery. Reverse the piston, and then also we want to set the maximum distance back to 0, which we can do with timers. Oh man, that would be annoying to have to move this. I thought about putting it on top. One, two, three, four. Oh, I don't even have any middle plate. And the automation would just do the reverse, attach, detach, I set that to 0, so reverse, no, not U, reverse U, and then extend 1 meter. Because we're still widening the hole, we'll expand this out. $58. Sure. You can get away with like 2 meters as long as your swing is pretty slow. I think I'll stick with 1, especially once I automate it. Like, I don't really care. I can just like go off and do other stuff and let this thing run. I'm going to check up on it periodically. One of the first automations I'll add is one to detect when the drills start backing up, so that we stop the hinge until the refinery's caught up. Whoops. Yeah, close enough. Reverse. Once we get the hinge over here, yeah, we'll probably wait till we get actually one block past there, I think. We should be able to be all the way at 90 and 90. How's our power with that refinery going? Not great. We're actually... Well, sorry, that's just 11, right? 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. What? Is that right? 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. Maybe I don't even need to swing all the way out. I'd hate to get it wrong at this point. Only to find out that it's too narrow for the rover to fit. What am I looking for? I'm looking for this. Oh, I didn't mean to go to 71. So let's put, or so we don't get clobbered by the drill. There's 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. Yeah, we'll swing all the way out, I think. Oh shoot, I meant to... No, don't do that. Drill's on. I should have extended it first. So what are we at? We're at That's our 13. Right? 1, 2, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. Yeah, we're going to end up all the way out, because if we don't, it's going to be a real pain in the neck to get that vehicle in there. Nope. I usually don't tunnel this big. I usually have small grid rovers and I end up with like, like 5 wide. So going out to 13 or 15 is like huge to me. So yeah, we're well over what I wanted for time. So I'm gonna just continue doing this. At some point I'll probably have to take the rover and go get charged up or set up some solar. No, that's not gonna work. I don't know, but I don't want to like use up all my power. So yeah, at some point I'll have to stop and go get power. Otherwise I'll continue drilling. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.